Hi, I'm Knox. I build software for a living, but according to my wife, I build dreams for our future. At least that's what she used to say during our first years together. Eliza and I have been married for 5 years now. 5 years of what I thought was marital bliss. We have the house in the suburbs, matching coffee mugs, and weekend traditions that make our friends roll their eyes at how perfect we seem. Tonight was Eliza's big company party, the annual celebration where her marketing firm shows off to clients and employees alike. I spent 45 minutes picking the right shirt to complement her dress, a navy blue number she'd been excited about for weeks. "You look incredible," I said, as we pulled into the hotel parking lot. "Thanks. Remember, the Anderson account is here tonight, so I need to be on my game. Just mingle, okay? The bar has that bourbon you like." The moment we walked through those double doors, Eliza squeezed my arm once and disappeared into the crowd. I stood there holding 2 flutes of champagne like an idiot. I wandered around for a while, making small talk with people whose names I immediately forgot. That's when I spotted Eliza across the room, laughing with a tall guy in a tailored suit. I recognized him as Warren, her department head. Something about how she touched his arm made my stomach twist. They've been like that all night. I turned to find a woman with dark curly hair and knowing eyes watching me. "I'm Mia, Eliza's friend from college. You must be the famous Knox." "Famous? That's generous. Eliza hasn't introduced me to anyone tonight." "That's because she's busy playing politics." Mia nodded toward Eliza and Warren. "Notice how she keeps touching his sleeve? Classic Eliza move." I took a long sip of my drink. "You seem to know my wife better than I do tonight." "I've known her longer. Doesn't mean I know her better." Mia glanced at the dance floor, then back at me. "Want to give them something to watch?" Before I could respond, Mia took my hand and pulled me toward the dance floor. Her perfume smelled like citrus and spice as she guided my hand to her waist. "Why are you helping me?" I asked as we moved to the music. "Let's just say I don't appreciate how Eliza treats people she claims to care about." I spun her around, catching Eliza's eye across the room. For the first time that night, my wife was actually looking at me. "There's more going on than just tonight, isn't there?" I asked Mia. "Smart man. Warren isn't just her boss, Knox." The music slowed and Mia leaned closer. "Check her text messages sometime, or don't. Depends on if you want to know the truth." When the song ended, I noticed Eliza making her way toward us, her smile tight and eyes narrowed. "Having fun." Her voice was sweet, but her eyes were cold. "Just getting to know your friend since you vanished," I replied. "I was working, Knox. That's what these events are for." Mia excused herself with a meaningful look my way. Later that night, as Eliza slept beside me, I stared at the ceiling. The woman who'd barely acknowledged me at the party had practically dragged me home, suddenly attentive and affectionate after seeing me with Mia. I turned to look at my sleeping wife and wondered how much of our perfect life was just an elaborate performance. The morning after the party, I decided to stop ignoring the pit in my stomach. "We need to talk about last night, Eliza." "What about it? I told you these events are important for my career." "You didn't speak to me for 2 hours. Then suddenly when Mia and I were dancing, you couldn't get me home fast enough." Eliza rolled her eyes while pouring her coffee. "Are you seriously jealous because I was networking? Grow up, Knox. Not everything is about you." "It's not about me being the center of attention. It's about you pretending I don't exist until another woman talks to me." "You're being ridiculous. Mia always flirts with everyone's husbands. She's been like that since college." "That's not what happened, and you know it. I don't have time for this. I have a breakfast meeting with Warren about the new campaign." The mention of his name made my jaw clench. "On Sunday?" "The Anderson account doesn't care what day it is, Knox." After she left, I stared at her phone charging on the nightstand. I'd never checked it before. 15 minutes later, I was sitting on our bed reading 3 months of messages between my wife and her boss. I called my best friend. "Trent, I need your help." "Dude, it's not even noon on Sunday. Eliza's cheating on me with her boss." There was silence then. "I'll be there in 20. While waiting, I called the number Mia had slipped into my pocket. "I wasn't sure you'd call," she answered. "You knew, didn't you?" "Since the Christmas party, Warren had Eliza pinned against the wall in his office. I walked in on them." "Why tell me now?" "Because Sophia is my friend too." "Who's Sophia?" "Warren's wife. She deserves to know just as much as you do." By the time Trent arrived, I'd discovered more than just text messages. Our joint savings account had 5 unexplained withdrawals totaling $15,000 over the past 2 months. Holy shit, Trent whistled, looking at my laptop screen. She's building an escape fund. It gets worse. I showed him the text from last week. Once the Anderson deal closes, we'll both have enough to start over. 2 more weeks, baby. I can't wait to leave this life behind. Trent grabbed a beer from my fridge. You need to protect yourself, like yesterday. I already moved half our accounts to a new bank this morning. Smart. What about your software company? Is she on any paperwork? I hadn't thought of that. She's listed as a beneficiary, but not an owner. Change it, today. I know a guy who can help with the legal stuff. I nodded, my mind racing. I need copies of everything. Already on it. Trent was taking photos of the texts. That night, Eliza came home late, smelling like expensive cologne. She kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. How was your meeting? I asked casually. Productive. The campaign's coming together. That's great. I bet Warren is pleased. She paused for just a second. The whole team is. As Eliza showered, a new text lit up her phone. Next weekend at the lake house. Tell him you're at a conference. I'll do the same with S. I put her phone down exactly as I'd found it. This wasn't just about surviving a betrayal anymore. This was about making sure they faced consequences for what they'd done. Not just to me, but to Warren's wife, too. This wouldn't be a messy, emotional revenge. This would be calculated justice. The next 5 days were the hardest acting job of my life. I smiled over breakfast, kissed Eliza goodbye each morning, and pretended I didn't know she was planning to leave me. Meanwhile, I documented everything. Photographs of her texts, recordings of her lies about where she was going, and detailed logs of every missing dollar. You're being too calm about this, Trent said, as we met with his lawyer friend at a coffee shop across town. What do you want me to do? Confront her and watch her delete all the evidence? Fair point, Trent conceded. Marcus, what's the damage control look like? The lawyer slid papers across the table. I've drafted the amendments to remove Eliza from your business holdings. Sign here and here. What about the house? I asked. It's in both your names. That's trickier. But we've secured your intellectual property and company assets. After Marcus left, Trent leaned forward. Have you told your parents yet? About what? That their beloved daughter-in-law is screwing her boss? They haven't returned my calls in weeks. I figured they were busy. Dude, we had dinner with them last month. Your mom called Eliza twice about it. My stomach dropped. Eliza told me they canceled. I pulled out my phone and called my mother. Knox, I was beginning to think you were avoiding us. What? Why would you think that? Well, after you and Eliza canceled the lake house weekend, then missed your father's birthday dinner? Mom, I never knew about any of that. The silence on the line was deafening. Eliza said you were too busy with work, that you'd make it up to us soon. After hanging up, I stared at Trent. She's been cutting me off from my family. Classic isolation tactic, makes her exit easier. That evening, Mia met us at Trent's apartment. The company anniversary gala is next Friday, she said, showing us the invitation. Everyone will be there, including all the executives and their spouses. Perfect timing, I said. Eliza mentioned she's going to a conference that weekend. Mia smirked. Yeah, a conference in Warren's pants, maybe. She pulled out her phone. I've got the seating chart. Warren and Eliza will be at different tables, but I've arranged for you and Sophia to be seated together. Have you told Sophia anything? I asked. Not yet. I wanted your permission first. I nodded. She deserves to know. But let's not tell her everything, just enough that she'll come to the gala. Over the next week, we refined our plan. Trent secured the technical aspects, Mia handled the logistics at the venue, and I kept playing the role of oblivious husband. You're sure you don't mind me going to this conference? Eliza asked Wednesday night, packing her suitcase with lingerie I'd never seen before. Of course not, babe. Your career is important. She seemed almost disappointed by my lack of suspicion. Thursday evening, I received a text from Mia. Everything's set. Sophia will be there. She thinks it's a surprise anniversary thing Warren planned. Friday night arrived. Eliza left early, saying she had a pre-conference mixer. I dressed carefully in my best suit, sliding the flash drive with all the evidence into my pocket. As I adjusted my tie, I recalled our wedding day, how I'd believed all her promises. Now I understood they'd been as empty as her kiss goodbye this morning. Ready? Trent texted. On my way, I replied. I drove to the Grand Horizon Hotel, where spotlights illuminated the entrance for the company's 10th anniversary celebration. Inside, I spotted Eliza immediately, stunning in a red dress, laughing with Warren by the champagne fountain. Neither of them had noticed me yet. Across the room, Mia caught my eye and nodded. Beside her stood a beautiful blonde woman in a silver gown, Sophia, looking confused but excited. Everyone was in position. It was showtime. I approached Mia and Sophia at the gala, nodding to Trent by the AV booth. "You must be Knox. Mia was just telling me about you. And you must be Warren's wife. Strange he never mentions you at these events." The CEO tapped the microphone. "Welcome to our 10th anniversary celebration." "Actually, if I could say a few words," I interrupted, walking to the stage. "I'm Knox, Eliza's husband." I smiled at my wife, whose face drained of color. "I wanted to share something special tonight." The screen lit up with text messages between Eliza and Warren. My wife and her boss have been planning a new life together, funded by $15,000 from our joint account and company funds Warren has been misappropriating. Gasps filled the room. Sophia charged toward Warren. "You promised you were working late. We have a mortgage, kids." "Baby, I can explain." "Explain the lake house this weekend, the fake conference?" Eliza grabbed my arm. "Turn it off. What are you doing?" "Exactly what you taught me, looking out for myself." The CEO approached, furious. "Warren, Eliza, my office. Now." "I've sent all documentation to your company email," I said calmly. Eliza's mascara streaked down her face. "You're ruining everything. Like when you lied about my parents calling or emptied our savings. I was going to pay it back. Sure you were." As security escorted them away, Mia squeezed my shoulder. "You okay?" "Better than I've been in months." 2 months later, I sat on my new apartment balcony with Trent and Mia. "Any updates?" Mia asked. Eliza was fired. The company's pressing charges for the misappropriated funds. "And Warren?" "Sophia got everything in the divorce, house, cars, kids. He's unemployable in this industry now." My phone buzzed with a text from Eliza. "Can we talk? I'm so sorry for everything. I made the biggest mistake of my life." "You gonna answer her?" Trent asked. "No need." I blocked her number, feeling lighter than I had in years. "Your parents called," Mia said. "They're excited about Sunday dinner." I smiled, thinking about how I'd reconnected with everyone Eliza had tried to separate me from. My family, my real friends, my self-respect. "Let's celebrate," Trent suggested. "First round's on me." As we left, I realized the best revenge wasn't just exposing Eliza's betrayal. It was reclaiming the life she'd nearly stolen from me. What would you do if you were in Knox's position? Would you have blocked Eliza without responding to her apology, or would you have given her a chance to explain herself after all the betrayal? The way Knox discovered his wife's affair through her friend Mia, and then methodically exposed it at the company gala, raises an interesting question about justice versus forgiveness. Was public humiliation the right move, or too harsh? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this one. Your support helps our channel grow, and we'd love to hear what kind of stories you want to hear today.